Hi everyone, this is Ashley. I hope y'all are having a wonderful evening. I just wanted to do a quick review on a home pregnancy test strip. It's called SurePredict, and they are actually 10 MIU test strips. As many of us who are in the going through our trying to conceive journey, we like to test early. We like to test, starting from 7 or 8 days past ovulation, DPO, on up until, either we test positive with a blood test or, we get our period. So a great way to purchase inexpensive pregnancy tests rather than spending, $12 to $20 on a digital or even a pink dye test like First Response, for example, would be to go on Amazon or eBay, and you can usually buy them. They're called, they are test strips, and you can buy them in bulk, and they come in these little packages right here. And they are about, you can get bundles of OPKs, which are ovulation predictor kits, which test for a higher surge of luteinizing hormone, which predicts ovulation or tells you when ovulation is near. And you can also buy them just by themselves in a bundle. And I want to say you can get about 25 to 50 for around $15 or less, depending on what kinds you use, or there are all kinds of different test strips available. Now, this video is in reference to these 10 MIU, and most of them are 25 MIU. These are highly sensitive. They are 10 MIU home pregnancy test strips, or HCG test strips. The manufacturer is SurePredict. That's the brand. And the reason why I'm doing this is because I would like to warn you about yielding false positive results. I actually just did a digital test, and I made a video, a how-to video. As you can see, not pregnant. I would say with this, you might need a higher concentration of HCG, which is the pregnancy hormone, to yield a positive result with this. But with that being said, I also had blood work done because I was getting faint lines on these test strips, and also on First Response tests as well, and some other internet cheapy tests that I was taking. And so I had blood work done, and guess what? The blood work came back today and it was negative. It was less than 1. So what I want to show you today, I'm going to dip this test strip because I just want you to see. I'm going to dip this test strip. This is FMU, which is first morning urine. It's highly concentrated. Okay, and now I only did this for 5 seconds, which is recommended. And it can take up to 10 minutes for the result to develop, and then you want to discard the results after 30 minutes. That's clearly what the instructions say. So I just want you to see how a line here will develop despite the fact that I have no hormone. I have less than 5, which even with, First Response, that's a 25 MIU test, and it can detect as low as 6.5 MIU. So imagine a 10 MIU test detecting lower than 10 and even detecting what would be abnormal, meaning like we all have some of us have a small amount of HCG in our system. So when they do a blood quantitative test, which tests for actual numbers, beta numbers, you can have 5 MIU or less, and that's considered to be not pregnant. Anything above 5 to 25 is inconclusive, and anything above 25 is considered to be a positive result. And so that's how that works. So if I have less than 1 and I'm getting a vivid line on this test, it's either a false positive result or it is picking up on the less than 1 of the small amount of HCG that would normally be circulating in my system. So I just wanted to show you that. But I also want you to be aware also with the same respect of First Response tests, because unfortunately I would like to say I had a bad batch of them, but I've tested with 4 or 5 different I mean, over the course of the last 3 weeks, just trying to do line progression here, you know, 3, 6, 9. So I want to say about 4 boxes, 4 different boxes, and they all gave me lines, every single one of them, which I thought was really odd considering my blood results came back negative. So again, that is really ironic. And the lines had pink to them. Now they weren't getting darker. That's the thing. So I do want to warn you about false positive results. And when you take a test, and although it says a line is a line, but I highly recommend if the line is not getting any darker, yes, it could be a chemical. A chemical, normally you will see a negative result though after a few days, and you receive, you know, you get what you think would be a period around the time of your period. But if that's not happening, then you may want to be wary about it, and you might want to just opt to get the blood results. Now, here's the thing. There's an easy way to do that if you don't want to. I mean, some of us don't have the greatest insurance. I know that some of us have what is known as a high deductible plan, and you have an extremely high deductible of, say, like $6,000, $7,000, which is just through the roof for, you know, normal people like us that have kids and, you know, we're working, and maybe even both of you having an income, but still it's like, you know, it's kind of high, and you have to meet that deductible before the insurance pays out anything. So you're essentially going to be self-pay, which means that you have to pay the, you know, office visit, you know, you have to pay for the urine test, you have to pay for the lab results, the blood work, the ultrasounds, whatever you're getting. And some of us just don't have the money for that. What you can do is you can go to what is known as personallabs.com, and you can actually order a blood HCG quantitative through a local lab, LabCorp, and it's fairly inexpensive. It's around, you know, $50 to $60, and you can have your blood quantitative done that way. You can also have a qualitative test. I mean, they have numerous different blood serum tests that you can do. So that's a very inexpensive way to do it. If you're just trying to see what your numbers are before you know, jump to any conclusions and, you know, opt to go to the emergency room, like, oh my gosh, could it be ectopic, or, you know, is there something else going on? My insurance sucks. I don't have the money for this. You know, it's like, hey, spend $50, boom, you know, you have your answer. So we're going on 7.5 minutes, and I'm thinking it's been, I don't know, about 5. And the dye is very, very pink. So I'm just going to take a look at this with the naked eye. Yep, and I already see a line forming. So we'll just give it a few more minutes, and then you can see for yourself how this test is either picking up, it's one of two things. Either it's yielding a false positive result, or it's picking up on a lower concentration of HCG that would normally be in your system even if you were not pregnant. So I just kind of want to warn people of this, and even with the first response test. I also want to show you something else as well. This is a Dollar Tree test. They're supposed to be 25 MIU, and guess what? Same thing. I don't know if you can see this. There's a very faint pink line here. Pink plain as day. Popped up within the time frame. So if you were, you know, taking a test, you would think, oh my gosh, it's a pink line. Must be positive. Well, guess what? Nope, it's false. Pink line. I'm not saying this happens to everybody. I'm just saying to be wary of it. I had 2 tests also. This is just the last 2 days that I've given very faint lines. I don't know if you can see it with the camera. It's very hard to see, but very faint, but pink line. But this is from yesterday, so I know when I did this with the camera, it was harder for me to see. Let me do it back like this. It might be easier, but there is a line there. And guess what? Blood test today. I took this before I read my blood results. A line appeared within the time frame. And guess what? Blood results came back negative. So it's hard for me at this point, honestly, to trust a test, because it seems that there are so many of us nowadays that are getting false positive results, which I don't understand that. And you know what? When you've been trying and trying and trying to have a baby for a long time, it's very heartbreaking. And even if you're not trying to have a baby, I mean, here's the thing. Even if you're not trying to have a baby, I wish my camera would focus. Jeez. Okay. Even if you're not trying to have a baby, I mean, the amount of stress that this can cause somebody who is trying to refrain from having a baby, it's awful. I mean, I have gone through so much in the last, oh my gosh, few weeks now, and it's just horrible. Okay, let me look at the test now. And it just, I swear it takes forever. Okay. Yes, there is a faint line right there. If you were testing early, around 7-8 DPO, you would think, oh my gosh, I just got my big fat positive BFP. And you know what? That may not even be the case. I mean, it could just be picking up on the HCG that you normally would have in your system, because if mine is at less than a 1 and I'm getting a line like this, I mean, you got to stop and think for a minute. You know, what's really going on here? I'm still going to let the dye clear for a few more minutes. I know it's been at least, you know, probably 7 minutes at this point. So, anyways, so that is my product review for SurePredict 10 MIU test. Again, either yielding false positive results or picking up on HCG that would be normal with people that, you know, are not pregnant, you know, because anything below 5 MIU is negative. So again, I just wanted to show you this. And it's actually quite aggravating, because I'm just kind of getting tired of this whole false positive result. You know, it's really aggravating. So again, and I really actually thought that they were legit, because I had used highly diluted urine the other night and I didn't see much of a line until several hours later, and it was a very faint line, and I thought, well, maybe it's just an evaporation line. So I thought, you know, these have to be legit. These have to be legit. But again, maybe the line just wasn't as dark because it was highly diluted versus this being highly concentrated. I have no idea. But again, my theory is it's picking up on actual non-pregnant low levels of HCG that would normally be circulating through your system. So just going to tell you, buyer beware. If you are, it's probably better, in my opinion. The last 2 times I got pregnant, I tested a week and a half, even 2 weeks after my period was late. When I peed on that stick, I mean, I'm telling you, the result came up within the quickness. It was a dark line. There was no questioning it. I think that's honestly the best way to go, because it's very heartbreaking when you're testing early. You're either getting a chemical pregnancy, which is an early miscarriage, or a false positive result with a highly sensitive test like this, because you have to use highly sensitive tests if you're going to be testing early. And if it's a false result, or even picking up on levels of HCG that would normally not be considered pregnant, that is heartbreaking. I just, personally, for me, I honestly, I'm just going to wait. Like, I am going to wait. And if I don't see any line progression, I don't see any of the lines getting darker and darker and darker, then you know what? I'm going to assume that's a negative result, honestly, because it's very heartbreaking. So that's just what I'm choosing to do. I mean, everybody's different. Everyone has a different opinion on what they want to do, but that's just what I opt to do. Okay, so I think it's been probably about 10 minutes. Okay, and yeah, at this point, there's a pretty vivid pink line there. Faint, but pink. Pink line. So I hope you can see that. Again, SurePredict HCG 10 MIU strip test. This is the lot number, expiration. You can go to SurePredict.com. That's where you get them. But just buyer beware. Buyer definitely beware, because boom, faint line. Okay, and this happens within the time frame. It's not an evaporation line. An evaporation line is a line that forms outside of the time limit. This formed within the time limit, not an evaporation line. This would be a genuine false positive result. So I'm just letting you know. So again, buyer beware. SurePredict 10 MIU test. So, okay, well, this is Ashley, and I hope you've enjoyed watching this video. If you have found it educational and informing, do us a favor and give this video a like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. That surely would help us out quite a bit, and I'll continue to make these videos for you, doing product reviews and experiments and all that good stuff. Also, be sure to visit us at www.peonestickfreak.com, because we update our content all the time. And give us a like on Facebook, facebook.com/peonestickfreak. Follow us on Instagram, peonestickfreak. Follow us on Twitter, peonestickfrk. And also, be sure to, if you're in your trying to have a baby or trying to conceive journey, and you're on Facebook, feel free to join our Facebook group. It is a support group for fertility, infertility, PCOS, pregnancy, new mommies, all that good stuff, or even those who are just trying to get pregnant. We are called the Pee on a Stick Freaks, and especially if you enjoy peeing on a stick, because that's what that is dedicated to, hence the website. So feel free to join. It's Pee on a Stick Freaks. That is that's our Facebook group. So also, if you have any questions, or if you have any neat stories or anything, any great ideas for new experiments or whatnot, any product reviews, send them in my way. You can definitely private message me on Facebook. You can also hit me up on Instagram or Twitter. It is, again, Pee on a Stick Freak, and Twitter is Pee on a Stick FRK. And then also even with our Facebook group, which is Pee on a Stick Freaks. So look us up, join the group. We'd love to have you. Again, if you've enjoyed watching this video and you found it informational and you found it informing and it's helped you in any way, do me a favor and give this video a like, and also subscribe to our channel. This is Ashley signing off, and y'all have a wonderful evening. Here is one last look at our lovely little 10 MIU stick with the pink faint line. Yep, very vivid. And again, SurePredict HCG 10 MIU test strips. All right, it's Ashley signing off. Y'all have a wonderful evening.